and this whole world has changed, right? He wasn't even a formally formed adult before being incarcerated.
Exactly.
And then even the guilt and shame that his mom has and navigating that experience with him. So Ricky hit really close to home. So
I understand. I've known young men like that who like they got and started getting in trouble pretty early, and by the time they were adults, they had spent more time in than they had spent out, and they just didn't know. Like my husband had this one friend, and you could tell he so desperately for so many years just did not know how to live as an adult in the outside world because he had spent more of his adult life or even like his late teens being locked up in one facility or another. And usually they were petty crimes most of the time, but it's like because he was so quick to put him in, and more often than not, we're going to try him as an adult, even if it was something small. He spent most of the time I knew him between the ages of 19 and like, I don't know, I'd say about 30 in jail. Like he had kids that he missed large chunks of their lives because he was just in jail. And it wasn't until pretty recently, and now he's like down near 40, that he really started to get his life together as an adult. And it took a lot. He had to mature up here first and go through a lot of unpleasantness before he was like, okay, I'm gonna fix my life. And it's because no one gave him
it's a lot. I think it's a lot people coming out to navigate. Like we see Ricky who is trying to get work, but like doesn't have transportation.
Right.
Then they ended up, he had a job, and then they ended up, I guess, did another background check and
found he had a conviction.
Fired them. So like, I know some of the, like I'm in Pennsylvania where there was like legislation called Ban the Box where employers are being asked to not like, basically you can't even ask that question.
Like,
right?
If it's not germane to the job, I don't know why it should matter. Like, I can understand.
And it's also racialized too.
It is very racialized.
Racialized. So I think there's that whole piece. And then even when we talk about the rapid pace at which technology has shifted our world, so people coming out trying to navigate that, just not having resources. Sometimes people just find themselves in difficult situations because they don't even have adequate housing, or things could be really volatile. And you spoke of like people and navigating relationships with their children. So even that grief, people that die when you're incarcerated, people, losing, your children.